Hi there, welcome to BoxPred. This is my prediction video on the upcoming fight on the 18th of June between Saul Alvarez and Ryan Rhodes. The fight's in Mexico and is for the WBC light middleweight title. My prediction for this fight is a victory for Saul Alvarez by decision. Let's just take a quick look at the records. Got Saul Alvarez, 36 victories, no losses, 1 draw, around 70% knockout ratio. Ryan Rhodes, 45 victories, 4 losses, no draws, and around a 63% knockout ratio. Now, the first thing I'd like to address is from the prediction videos I've seen, a lot of guys, particularly guys in the UK, are saying that Ryan Rhodes is a dangerous opponent for Saul Alvarez. And they say this for good reason. I agree with them. He is a very live opponent. He is possibly and probably going to be Alvarez's toughest opponent to date. I think that Ryan Rhodes, as others have said, can give Saul Alvarez big problems in this fight. I think based on Ryan Rhodes' movement and slickness alone, he gives Saul Alvarez some problems. He's a little bit hard to pin down, particularly for the first half of the fight. The latter half of the fight, which I'll go into a bit later, is what concerns me for Rhodes, and because I think then is where Alvarez gets his chance. Another thing, an important thing which I would like to address. A lot of people talk about Saul Alvarez's power. He's got a 70% knockout ratio, why wouldn't they? However, I'd like to make a case for Ryan Rhodes here and say this guy also has some power. If you take a look at the knockout ratio percentage, he has a 63%, which is only a 7% reduction from Saul Alvarez. But he's also fought he's had 9 more victories than Saul Alvarez. So that's 9 extra fights with the possibility of a decision or a knockout victory, a stoppage victory, which, to be honest, is quite good. If you compare the two, from 70% down to 63% in 9 fights. In 9 fights' time, Saul Alvarez could be down there. And I know there are many factors that go into this. Don't get me wrong, it's not clear cut. Obviously, there are many factors that go into the percentages and the type of fighters they're fighting, the type of opposition they're fighting. But I'd just like to throw that out there, that Ryan Rhodes does have some power. I do feel that Saul Alvarez does need to be careful in this one. I think he may be careful early on, because he doesn't want to be going chasing Ryan Rhodes and trying to get at Ryan Rhodes and then get caught with counters. Having said that, that could happen the other way around, because I think Saul Alvarez does have the ability to counter well and effectively, and Ryan Rhodes also likes to fight on the front foot, I feel, a lot of the time, and Saul Alvarez could try and take advantage of that with his countering. We know all about Saul Alvarez by now. He's, 20 years old. He's already got 36 victories, just the 1 draw. He's building up a portfolio. They are protecting him somewhat, but in his recent fights, he has been stepping up his class and stepping up his opposition. His last 2 fights, I believe, have gone to decision. I feel that this fight is probably going to be decided in the second half of the fight. I think the first half of the fight may be a bit cagey. I think Saul Alvarez is going to have to be careful, as is Ryan Rhodes, and they're going to be trying to figure each other out. I think that the power, like I've said, goes a bit both ways. So you can say that Ryan Rhodes, how does he react when he feels Saul Alvarez's power? But you can also say, how does Saul Alvarez react when he realizes Ryan Rhodes has power also? I think Ryan Rhodes in this one is obviously the slicker fighter of the two, but I think that Saul Alvarez has a bit more rigid style, but more of a steady style, and I think his stance is a bit more steady in the ring. I think he's a bit more composed than Ryan Rhodes, and I think that's what I'd like to mention about Alvarez is one thing I do like about him is that he is a patient fighter. I think that he doesn't rush in to finish people. If you look at the way he finished off Cotto, he took his time, he picks his punches, and he's happy to take his time throughout the fight. I don't think he minds it going to decision, but he just looks to get the victory. And then he, if the chance comes of the KO, he often takes it. He's a very active fighter. He fights a lot, which is another good thing. And as his as he steps up in class now, we may see a reduction in the amount of fights he fights because he is the champion. But I do like the fact that he has been very active in the ring, and Ryan Rhodes hasn't been so active recently, and that I'm not sure how much of a part that's going to play, but I do feel it'll play a part stamina-wise going into the latter rounds, particularly with because this is going to be a pretty intense fight. The way I see the fight going, I think it'll be close. I think for the first half of the fight, like I've said, it'll be rather cagey. I think the second half of the fight is where I fear for Rhodes, because I feel that both guys can get caught and brought into a scrap. And while I think Ryan Rhodes has the power to stop this fight, Saul Alvarez has the power to stop this fight also. But I would side with Saul Alvarez in the composure department, and I think Ryan Rhodes may be liable to make more mistakes late on in this fight. I think stamina may creep up, and I do feel there's a chance that this could be stopped late in favour of Saul Alvarez. But I've gone for the decision because I feel, I'd love Ryan Rhodes to do this. He's a top fighter, top boxer, really skilled. But I just feel that later on in this fight, I don't think he'll be stopped, although there is a chance. What I think will happen is that he will do well for the first part of the fight. He may even be up on the scorecards for a certain time, but I feel that Saul Alvarez will come good late on. He will get a lot of success against Rhodes. He will pressurize Rhodes, and I just have a feeling that Saul Alvarez is going to pull the points out of the bag. And I think that even if he doesn't, we know the fight is in Mexico. If it's close at all, I think the decision goes to Saul Alvarez. I just can't see how Ryan Rhodes is going to get that clear-cut points decision. He needs to make it very clear if he's going to get the points. And although there is a good chance that Ryan Rhodes, he has the power to stop Saul Alvarez, but I just think Saul Alvarez, with every fight, he seems to be improving for me, and I think they're doing a good job in improving his boxing skills, improving his defense, improving the way that he fights, his technical ability. I just think that he's going to have a bit too much late on for Ryan Rhodes. As being from the UK, I am supporting Ryan Rhodes in this. It would be great if he could pull out the victory here. I think he deserves it, and this is a very good fight to be happening. He deserves his shot. Saul Alvarez, well done for fighting him. This is the type of fights we like to see. And if you don't know much about Ryan Rhodes, look at some videos on YouTube. He's a very slick fighter. He's a very good boxer. He's gonna cause problems for Saul Alvarez, but I just think that Saul Alvarez will pull out the victory at the end of the day. I think the first half will be cagey. Rhodes may even be up on the scorecards, but I think later into the fight, Rhodes could get into a spot of trouble, and if he's not stopped, I think it's going to go to decision for Saul Alvarez. So they're my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts on this, because I know there'll be conflicting views. And please subscribe if you like my channel, comment on this page or on my homepage. I will endeavour to reply. Thank you for watching this. This is BoxPred. I'm out.